Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode of In the End There's Always a Disney Guy. But before we get into today's episode, make sure you check out DisneyGuy.com or .tk. Doesn't really matter, you guys already know what to do. But today we're going to be talking about Grey's Anatomy and it probably may be ending. If you guys don't know, season 17 was probably one of the most deepest seasons of Grey's Anatomy, dealing with the COVID world. But season 18, I'm not even going to lie to you. It's only three main characters, three vets that are on the show. Well, four technically, because of Owen, which is played by Kevin McKidd. But besides Owen, there's Chandra Wilson, who plays Bailey, and you have Ellen Pompeo, who plays Meredith, and Mr. Pickens, who plays what's his name? Dr. Weber. So it's, oh my gosh, even Ellen Pompeo is ready for this show to end. She's flat out trying to, she was even begging, she's begging the network, trying to convince them to end the show. And they should. The show has gotten nothing but boringer and boringer. And it's like, if they're not killing off a character, it's either Grey's Anatomy killing off a character or the character is exiting the show. It's either one or the other each season. Like in season 17, they lost about like 3, 4, 5 people in that season. It's ridiculous. It's not funny, but it's crazy. They need to end the show. And one of the people talking about why cancel it? It makes like $1 gazillion. Okay, so what? And then they're talking about they're already talking about season. I'm looking at it right now. They're already talking about the Grey's Anatomy season 19 renewal talks underway as ABC looks to bring back hit series and star Ellen Pompeo. I'm gonna read it to y'all right now. Grey's Anatomy record-breaking run may continue. Renewal talks are underway for a potential 19th season of ABC's flagship scripted series through sources caution. The conversations are in early stages. I hear series star and co-executive Ellen Pompeo also had been approached about continuing the show for another season. Pompeo, who in the past couple of years has been open about her desire to bring Grey's Anatomy to an end, last spring agreed to a 1-year deal for season 18. She was one of there's 3 original remaining cast members on the show whose contracts were up at the end of season 17. The other 2, Chandra Wilson and James Pickens Jr., signed a multi-year new pacts that they hear. The renewal talks timing is not a surprise. This is typically when ABC starts conversations with ABC Signature and Shondaland, which produced the long-running series about another season. It is also when ABC Signature usually begins discussion with Pompeo if her contract is coming up. Because of Grey's Anatomy's legacies, the series would receive a royal send-off when the time comes to an end to end it. When ABC renewed the medical drama for an 18th season in May, it was not designated as final. Should that become the case, a decision has to be made in the next month or so to give Grey's Anatomy creator, executive producer Shonda Rhimes and exec producer showrunner Kristen Vernoff time to craft a proper finale. If instead renewal talks continue and Pompeo engages in negotiations on a new contract, it is a promising sign that another season is realistically a possibility. That was the case last season when negotiations went down to the wire, but Grey's Anatomy ultimately returned for a 19th season with Pompeo, Wilson, and Pickens Jr. all on board. ABC brass will be happy to keep Grey's Anatomy on the air for years to come. 18 seasons in, the series, the longest-running primetime medical drama in TV history, remains the network's highest-rated scripted series and one of the top scripted series on network television. Additionally, the series is a major profit generator for Disney and is lifting spin-off Station 19 through an integrated universe and frequent crossovers to become ABC's second highest-rated scripted series behind Grey's. We're thrilled to have its lineup. It's a gift, Craig Ulrich, president of ABC and Hulu Originals, told Deadline in September. As long as all of the producers and Ellen Pompeo feel like there are meaningful stories to tell, we're going to continue to do the show. As from Pompeo, she's already has been plotting her post plotting her post Grey's Anatomy's career, but she also has expressed appreciation for her long-standing relationship with Disney slash ABC. I've been trying to focus on convincing everybody that it should end, as she said in a recent interview with Insider. I feel like I am super naive, one who keeps saying, but what's the story going to be? What story are we going to tell? She continued, and everyone's like, who cares, Ellen? It makes like a gazillion dollars. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the show is getting boring. Like, it's boring. It's ridiculous. Then in the mid-season, the winter finale, Owen probably might be killed off. It's ridiculous. Like, they just losing cast member after cast. Soon enough, it ain't gonna be nobody on the show for them to freaking do a show on. It's ridiculous. After a COVID-themed season 17, which explored the tale of the toll the pandemic has taken on the healthcare workers, Grey's Anatomy has returned to its roots, focusing on medical cases and relationships in its current 18th season, which is set in a post-pandemic world. It's like it's ridiculous. They need to cancel this. I mean, let me make something clear. I love Grey's Anatomy. Season 17 is that was amazing. I mean, they should have, like, the cast members of season 17 should have won an Oscar for that season because it was amazing. But it's just the show is gotten lame. I'm not gonna lie. The same played out storyline is getting boring. It's like they just adding on as many people as they possibly can because they know they're losing cast member after cast member. Like, the show is played out. It's tired. It's boring. And as much as I love the show, I mean, I've always loved Grey's Anatomy. Like, I remember the first time I found out about Grey's Anatomy was in 7th grade. And I believe in like 2018, 2017, 2018, 2019. That's when I first found out about Grey's Anatomy. I never knew about Grey's Anatomy until the year of 2018. And that's when I started watching it and getting into it. And I watched all the seasons to get myself caught up to see what was going on. And I never knew how interesting the show was. So I've always loved Grey's Anatomy. Now that I've gotten really into it. But it's like the show, there's only so many storylines that a person could tell. You got Sarah Ramirez is ready to come back. Who played Dr. Torrance, which would be amazing, but it's like, ain't no point. The show isn't the same without Christina or April or Jackson. It's not really the same. It's not as good as it was in the younger seasons. Because the younger seasons was probably the best seasons of them all. Like, for real. With Derek and all of them, the originals. It's not as really good no more. Honestly, it's kind of boring. And like I said, as much as I love, Grey's Anatomy, at some point, this show got to end. Like, at some freaking point. They should make a spinoff. I totally think they should make a spinoff with April, with Jackson and April. I think that'll be an amazing idea. But Grey's Anatomy, I mean, Shonda needs to start preparing on some storylines on how this show is finna end. Because the ratings are dropping anyway. It's crazy how the ratings is dropping for this show, but they're already talking about renewals for season 19. But let this be any other type of show. Let this be, like, what's that name of that show? Prodigal Son. Prodigal Son had amazing ratings. But as soon as they dropped, they canceled it. They canceled the show just like that. Grey's Anatomy's ratings dropped this year. And now they already talking about season 19 renewals. They ain't canceled this show yet. So I think it's best that Shonda Rhimes and Ellen Pompeo, I think it's time for the writers to start preparing for the finale. Because it's getting boring. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting tiring. I mean, it's time to end it. I love the show, but all shows have to come to an end at some point. This ain't like General Hospital. It's getting tired. It's getting played out. It's getting boring. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about how y'all feel, but that's just where I'm coming from. Y'all know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be like I'm not trying to diss Grey's Anatomy because, like I said, I love Grey's Anatomy. That's my show. I love it to death. That will always be my favorite show. Best medical series in the entire world. But it's got to end at some point. It just got to. But thank you for listening in to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure you guys, what was I about to say? Um, make sure you guys, what was I about to freaking say? Oh, make sure you guys subscribe to this podcast. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. And yeah, bye bye, guys.